Todd with SoundPure here at the Waves booth, and while the vocal writers obviously sort of revolutionized the way we think about tracking a vocal, I guess you guys have basically achieved the same concept in your bass writer?
Yeah, conceptually it's very similar. Basically what we're trying to do is provide you with a way to have control over the gain portion of your bass signal. And so what we did is we took the concept of the vocal writer and then specifically developed from the ground up an algorithm that pays attention to specifically the detail and the energy in the low frequency spectrum for a bass instrument. There's a whole pile of presets that are really useful for upright. It is amazing on upright because you're able to still maintain right here how many or how few artifacts you have of the playing, like string noise, slapping, any kind of acoustic bass stuff. You obviously want to keep a lot of that in because that's where your definition is, but at the same time it lets you maintain the energy level of the low frequency with a gain-based process rather than with a compression or a limiting-based process. And at that stage you have control over your gain and you can compress an EQ for flavor instead of using that for a dynamic control.
So basically with these extra controls we're able to completely gain ride the bass. These aren't actually processing, it's just the way it's seeing the bass information and the way it's choosing to adjust the gain based on that information automatically.
As far as the artifacts go, it lets you dial in or out artifacts like picking, string noise, slapping, hammer-ons, that type of thing.
Is it affecting the artifacts or is it only riding the actual gain?
It is not necessarily affecting them, but it's letting more
it's letting
or less
more of them through by making a gain manipulation.
Correct.
Fantastic.
If you check out the metal forums, a lot of the metal forums, like Andy Sneap is one of the guys who's a very strong advocate of manual gain adjustment for the bass guitar in heavy metal, death metal, that kind of thing. And the metal guys are eating this thing up because it basically takes an all-day job for a record, and with a few manipulations, and maybe not any, after you apply the process, you're almost there. And in a lot of cases, you're completely past where you would anticipate being by going in and redrawing.
And I can see how these controls would be incredibly useful in upright, especially.
Oh man,
maintaining that information.
Especially if you're trying to tuck an upright into a big band over a large PA, everybody knows it's all boom with a little bit of click for the hand definition. And to be able to keep those artifacts in and to have control over the gain process before you hit any EQ or limiting is absolutely awesome. It's so fast, specifically for upright with big band or an amplified band.